lost almost $14 million to job scams in 2024. The National Anti-Scam Centre has helped take down more than 29,000 social media accounts linked to employment scams. ScamWatch received more than 3,000 reports of financial losses linked to fake job ads last year. A senior Reserve Bank official says China's economy is strong enough to withstand Donald Trump's tariff onslaught. Deputy Governor Andrew Hauser visited Beijing last month, just after the US president announced a 145% import tax. The levy on our largest trading partner has since dropped to 30%, which Mr Hauser believes is still very high. But he says China is in a strong position, and that's good news for Australian businesses.
The eye-popping tariff tit-for-tat escalation in early April came as a genuine shock to pretty much everyone we spoke to. But for every expression of surprise, we also heard, as they said, a striking confidence that China was going into this trade war with a strong hand.
3 people have been killed after a small plane crashed into a Californian neighbourhood. The crash sparked a huge fire, destroying homes and cars and forcing at least 100 residents to be evacuated. There's some wild weather on the way for the weekend and on Monday. Craig Russington from the SES says with heavy showers at times and wind gusts of up to 120 kilometres an hour forecast, people should take precautions.
Tomorrow, if possible, clean up their areas. If anything could fly around, to put it under cover. But definitely on Sunday night, that cars are put under cover, not parked under trees, and that people going to work on Monday morning, they can take a little bit more vigilance, especially coming through the hills.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Port Adelaide's Willie Rioli says he feels extremely proud to be playing his 100th game this weekend in Sir Doug Nicholls' round.
I always say everything happens for a reason, and I'm kind of grateful it landed on this day. Playing for everyone back home or every Indigenous kid that feel like AFL's a long way from them.
Port take on Fremantle in Perth on Saturday night. The Crows, meanwhile, have added 3 players to an extended squad to take on West Coast at Adelaide Oval on Sunday afternoon. Sid Draper, Billy Dowling and Luke Pedler. Bryce Cotton is now an Adelaide 36er. The former Wildcat superstar left the Perth club earlier this year, and it had been widely expected he'd sign with an overseas club. But he signed a 3-year deal with the Sixers in what is one of the biggest free agency deals in NBL history. And Ange Postecoglou will be paid $4.2 million as a bonus by Tottenham after winning the Europa League. Now FIVEAA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Wayville, a crash to look out for Goodwood Road near the showground. Glen, road plates and news following an earlier burst water main. That'll be pretty bumpy for the drive home. Paynham Road near Edward Street. And getting busy for those intersection works at Plimpton Park, Marin Road and Cross Road. Cameras this afternoon, South Terrace in the Parklands and Catterville Terrace, Kent Town. Get what you really want with Ford's drive-away deals. Transit Custom Trend Model Year 23.75 from 55k drive-away. Recommended price at participating dealers. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny today, but very different for the weekend. Showers developing tomorrow, a top of 21 after an overnight low of 9. A shower or two developing and windy on Sunday, 21 again. And Monday, another windy day with showers back to 17 for a top. Currently, 18. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, 9 exclusive. The shocking footage from an Adelaide road which has sparked a safety plea to pedestrians. Dangerous weather on the way. We have the alert from authorities and their message for us all. The vitamin showing promise in turning back the clock. And the man who woke up to a cargo ship in his front yard. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is FIVEAA. Always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. Yeah, good afternoon. It is Friday, and what better way to spend it than in a beer garden at the newly refurbished pub like the Port and Vine Hotel, which is where you'll find us today for our Rusden Wines Footy Friday. I'm Sam Tugwell, welcoming Rowey and Timmy G. What a glorious Friday it is.
Yeah, and congratulations, boys. Welcome to my postcode. It's about time we got into the heart of the Port. It's magnificent, isn't it? Right on the corner of Divot Street and Commercial Road, Port Adelaide, the Port and Vine Hotel. It's just been done up for years. It's obviously been. It's one of the oldest pubs in Port Adelaide, and I think one of the oldest that's still got a licence and operating. 1841. How's that? Played my first game the next year. So, you know how old that is. So, I think to Darren here, Jason and Adam, what a great job they've done, and to the staff who are already doing a great job behind the bar, thank you very much. Just a little side note as I welcome my co-host, Stephen Rowe.
Do you know what I love about this pub? I love pubs that are done up like this, that you could pick it up, you could put it in Sydney, in a classy spot, you could put it in Melbourne, you could put it in Port Melbourne, you could put it in Perth, put it in Fremantle. I walked in, this is flash.
It's like the heritage of the Port, though, with the old red brick, isn't it?
I
And a
love
little
it.
bit of the old render on the walls and the like.
Well, I used to do the polishing floorboards. I've walked in with my RMs and I've nearly gone A over T.
Yeah, what haven't you done in life? Master painter, floor polisher.
Anti-foul boats, a fisherman, farmer,
windscreen
father,
repairer.
windscreen repairer.
Unbelievable you are.
Grandfather.
Yeah.
Pretty crap footballer.
You've got a great resume.
There's an old codger sitting at the end of the bar. Oh, did you meet him?
Yeah, I would.
I should have remembered his name.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
Not good with names. And he goes, Rowey, you were right out at Nord. He said, what was that mongrel that used to play out there? And I went, Macca. That was him. Everyone knows Macca.
That's the Port for you. I love it. They love a good footballer. Don't worry about that. But it's fantastic. Come down, check it out, and it's got a great vibe. Got a great function room upstairs.
Brilliant.
Where I have to make a confession.
Here we go.
Had my 30th birthday upstairs. Here at the Port and Vine. First, Greg Phillips had it in the late 90s.
I've been here when Greg's had it.
And I had my birthday upstairs. Beer and pizza night, so it was flash. Yeah. And, well, I don't know how many came, because what I did, it was a bit like an election. I just put a poster up and said anybody can come, and it was absolutely packed. Good. Absolutely packed. Went on forever. It was a beauty.
How good. You had a rule here when you were captain at Port Adelaide.
Correct.
And Greg owned it, and you had some sort of lock-in.
We used to call it a lock-in. So you'd have a mid-season buy, and you want to try and sort some issues out. If we normally had a slump in the middle of the year, I'd say, rightio, boys, we're going down to Greg's pub, which was the Port and Vine. We go upstairs in the function room, lock the doors.
And you can't leave.
Nobody's allowed out till midnight.
What about trouble and strifes?
No, nobody. Just the players. Just the players. No officials, nobody. So just the players. Sort it out. Win a flag and come and do it again next year.
You undersell it. You make it sound like it's shelling peas. Now, when you've got 7, you can, but...
it was good times, and it's a great pub. Come on down and enjoy it. I'm just having a look at some of the wines and the beers and the Guinness that are around, so it looks attractive.
I'm on a leather lounge.
It's almost like the old Chesterfield, isn't it?
Chesterfield's the word I was looking for. And to the left of you is my coffee. Could you just pass that to me, Tim?
Yes,
I don't want to...
Yes, your master.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I could do for you?
You want to tell between the two of us who comes from the eastern suburbs? Yeah. I've got a latte with a chocolate biscuit and almond milk. And I look to the left, and the boy at Port Adelaide, Tim Jennifer from the Port and Vine, got himself a Guinness.
Yeah, well, it's winter, nearly winter, so you need a bit of eggs in your diet. Don't worry about that. Fantastic.
How come you're not fatter than me? You eat worse than me.
Strict discipline. Strict discipline. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. 50, 60 metres a day I walk.
Let's get on to sports. Some big news.
Well, massive news, isn't it? And we are going to ask the question, is this the biggest signing you've seen in Adelaide for a while? What is the biggest signing in Adelaide sports that you've ever seen? Because this is massive. The Adelaide 36ers, you broke it last night at 5-6, Rowey. You got on and said, this is big news. Take it to the bank. Bryce Cotton will sign for 3 years. And it's just insane, because we all thought he's lost to the NBL. He might be going overseas to explore other options. And it hasn't happened that way. We'll find out later. We'll have the owner, Grant Kelly, on. But here's the coach, Mike Wells, on how he'll be a culture changer.
You know, for us to be able to add Bryce and everything that he brings, and in his prime, obviously changes our culture the moment that he puts on a 36er uniform.
There you go.
Well, I could not have been any more excited. As you said, we've got Grant Kelly on. Text him immediately, and the text read like this: what a get, you'll need a bigger stadium.
Yeah, we're going to need a bigger stadium.
He texts back, ha, ha, ha. But that is a massive get. And I can't wait to speak to Grant because he's got a couple of other big irons in the fire as well. Bryce Cotton is exactly what they need. The best player that's ever been imported to the NBL, 5-time winner. MVP, championships follow him to the Wildcats. But I don't know about culture. We will speak to Mike Wells about that. But I can't remember a bigger name than he coming to a franchise like this. I think when Darren Jarman, we got him back at the Crows, I reckon that was big.
Ooh, that's a big one.
We got Wayne Carey after that,
the incident.
An indiscretion. But you know what, he's probably past his best.
Yep.
I think the biggest one that I can remember, other than Ange to Tottenham and the Gowans twins to Centrals.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Big signing, that one.
Would have they ever thought that they would do what they did?
Yeah.
But that is a great signing. So Garfield Sobers.
Yeah. That's probably the one that comes to mind for me.
Is that your mind as well?
They also had Barry Richards. Remember the South African cricketer who couldn't play at the time? He was outstanding.
Yep.
But I think for my era, the year Joel Garner came and played in 82, 83 for South Australia.
Yep.
Mate, the town lit up. The town lit up. And I think I told you the story. I went to my first New Year's Eve, and I won't say what year because I may have been on the cusp of not being old enough. I went into the venue with my mate who was mad West Indies fan, and Joel walked in, and the whole room was like, wow. It was an incredible. And he was like...
He has a presence.
One of the best fast bowlers in the world at that time. Massive. So give us a call, 8223 0000. We've got a bottle of the Rusden's Black Guts for the best caller, telling us who they think is the best signing in Adelaide sport since... Obviously, Bryce Cotton just being signed. So, sensational stuff there. We will have Grant Kelly on after 4:30. Hey, it's always exciting news, I reckon, when you're able to make your debut in footy. And this young fella's a great story. Hugh Jackson, he's North Adelaide. I think he's mid-north boy. He gets drafted in 2022. So, he's been on the list 4 seasons, 3.5 seasons now. He's had injuries. He's had setbacks. He's just been persisting his way through the sample. After 43 games and a lot of injuries, he's going to make his AFL debut.
That's a good story.
It's a great moment. Here he is telling his dad about it.
You're just leaving corn, right? No, I'm just ringing to let you know that I'm going to be debuting this week.
No way!
Yep.
Oh, well done, mate. Congratulations. Oh, Huey, that's sensational, mate.
Isn't that amazing?
So obviously eating corn.
He was leaving corn, up past Port Augusta.
He's had a cob of corn in his mouth driving.
Just chewing a bit of corn off the cob. You look mighty fun eating a corn off a cob with no teeth.
Marge, the rains are here.
Country bloke, but wasn't on the corn. He was coming from corn. But how good's that? I love those moments.
Oh, look, you never... I'm very, very lucky that I've got a son that did do it, and it was one of the greatest days of the family's life. It's like having a grandkid because it brings everyone together.
Yeah.
And everyone's universally happy because it's their dream. And to be able to fulfil a dream, albeit for one game or a million games, it's still your dream for that moment. I just think it is just special.
Yep, you only get one first game, as they say.
You only get one first game.
And you only get one 100th game, too. And for Willie Rioli, who's had a couple of difficult weeks, it's nice to notch up this milestone, 100 games in AFL footy, and here he is now about that.
Yeah, I think it means a lot with the journey I've been on and, the places I've been and in my football journey. It's something I'll cherish for a long time.
Yeah, congratulations. Have a great game and kick some goals, buddy. All the best with that. Hey, your team, weather was supposed to come in. This was supposed to happen. You know what? As usual, sometimes it gets delayed. Now, there's some talk that the weather won't turn sort of wet and windy until Monday. So you might have a reasonable day for your game, which is great for the spectators.
Well, it is. The crowd will be a massive crowd. Windy, medium chance of showers, 1 to 5 mil. So Tex plays. Boom.
Well, that's the decision, isn't it? 4:30 today, we'll find out whether they go in unchanged. Are you expecting that? Or there's a whisper that maybe Sid Draper comes back in and Berry goes into the team?
I'd like Berry into the team. So at whose cost? It might be a Nankervis type. Look, they're playing reasonable footy off a really good win and then a solid game against Collingwood last week. I'd still be surprised if they don't rest Tex. But he's kicked 20-something 9 goals in his last 3 appearances with them.
Yeah. He'd be thinking, oh, please,
let me fill my boots up.
Let me bag out.
Let me bag out.
Here's Matty Nix on West Coast. They're developing, he reckons.
Yeah.
We touched on opposition with our players about what West Coast have been doing. Their game's been pretty consistent. I mean, I know everyone will talk outcome on the weekend. It was a win. Prior to that, they've been really solid. You know, their game's developing. They're a younger group. On the weekend, they played 4 quarters and beat a quality side. So we know we're going to have our work cut out for us.
Yep, that's it. Give us a call. The best signing in Adelaide you've ever heard about. Give us a call, 8223 0000. Bottle of Black Guts on the end of it. And come down to the Port and Vine Hotel, corner Commercial Road and Divot Street, Port Adelaide.
It is the place to be this Friday night. A wonderful time as well this Friday night with the weather the way it is. Rowey O'Brien is going to join us live here, so join us at 5 when he's here with us live. Todd Marshall from Port Adelaide. We have 36ers owner and chairman Grant Kelly to go through the big signing of Bryce Cotton and Terry McAuliffe, of course, with his tips at closer to 6. It's 18 after 4. Your call's next, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
At Edwardstown Mazda's biggest ever end of financial year sale, drive away with up to $10,000 in savings and go into the draw to win the ultimate New Zealand getaway. Only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for 4-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
If you need to move from A to B to C this autumn, your best move is hiring from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
They are so good to you. I tell you, they'll give you the boxes, the tape for storage, furniture covers. They want to make sure that everything you are travelling in that rental is absolutely pristine when it gets there. Budget will have you sorted.
Yep, they will. Then you need the perfect set of wheels, and Budget has them all. Big cars, small cars, moving vans, trucks available, all on a standard driving licence, plus utes and hybrids, trailers, 12 to 25 seat buses and much more.
Now, once you've chosen the vehicle, grab Budget's blankets, trolleys, boxes, tape, you name it, and the move will go smooth.
Job done with Budget. It's family owned. It's a great business, friendly staff you can count on, and boy, do they have multiple locations around our state.
If you got something big to budget with Budget Rental Truck. Call 13 27 27.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat? This might be serious. Test for COVID, flu A, flu B, RSV and adenovirus all at once with the FanTest 5-in-1 antigen test. The FanTest 5-in-1 delivers accurate self-testing in any environment using a straightforward nasal swab, resulting in a fast and reliable diagnosis. Test for all 5 at once with FanTest. Available now at all leading chemists.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 90 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. 0. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Wayville Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 4, we are live at the Port and Vine Hotel. It is a fantastic spot. Come join us for a Friday night. And, of course, we're loving your calls. We're going to take them right now for a bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. 8223 0000. Bryce Cotton is the best signing in Adelaide sports since... You tell us. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted custom design, fixed pricing and total peace of mind. Because trust is a must. Let's check your roads around Adelaide.
A few crashes to look out for this afternoon. One at Gawler West, Gosford Street to the Ryde Street roundabout. Para Hill's another collision. Kester's Road near Lieberman Road, and Wavella crash there too. Goodwood Road near the showgrounds. Glen Road played to news following a burst water main. Paynham Road near Edward Street, and a camera at Ryde Street at Gawler West. Time for a TV upgrade. Right now, JB Hi-Fi, get $400 smashed off the latest Samsung 75-inch QLED TV. Cracking deals on now at JB. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Taking your calls, 8223 0000. Blackgut Shiraz from Rusden's available. And what we want to do, we just want to find out the biggest signing in Adelaide sports since, let's go to Seaview Downs. G'day, Stephen.
Oh, good afternoon, Rowey and Tim. Look, I would like to settle a bit of a rumour that I heard. Yes. We all know what Costa Cogley said about winning silverware in his second year. And I reckon the best signing we've had here since I've been alive is the signing of Malcolm Blight as coach of the Crows. And the rumour I heard was that he said that he's going to win 2 premierships in the first 2 years of his coaching. Is that correct?
Wow. Oh, look, I doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He thought he had the list, that's why he come back, but we forgot him. That is a magnificent
Well, there's been a couple
signing.
of unique home-style food techs nominating him, so
yeah.
And it was massive impact straight away.
Oh,
wasn't
massive. 2 flags. What he did was just genius. Absolute, no other word for it, genius.
See if we can get Bryce to do something similar. Let's go to Pete in Adelaide. G'day, Pete.
Oh, g'day. First-time caller.
Hey,
Good on
Pete,
you,
welcome.
Welcome.
So, I've got a story about Sir Garfield Sobers. On the sail of 505, which is a international class dinghy, the boat that Jim Hardy won the World Championships in, way back in 1967 or so. Anyway, we had a World Championship in Barbados, and Barbados put on a big party for us. All the politicians were there, and Sir Garfield Sobers was there, and he came up to us. As soon as he found out we were from Adelaide, he wouldn't leave us alone. They couldn't get rid of him. He hung around us like a bad smell. Wanted to know all about Curly. Talked about how the Adelaide Oval's going now. It was amazing. They kept pulling him away to go and meet people and have a chat, take photos with other people, and he kept coming back to us because he just wanted to talk to Adelaide people. So that was my little story.
Good, mate. Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh,
thanks very much for sharing that, mate. That is awesome.
In the running for that Blackgut Shiraz.
Absolutely.
I've told you I caddied for Sir Garfield Sobers when I was young, didn't I?
You did?
Really?
It was the biggest impression on my young life ever.
Wow.
Haven't I told you that story?
Yeah,
told it
you
on air
did,
100 times.
I just want to know why. How?
Oh, well,
How does that happen?
He was wearing a hip flask and of whiskey, and I was lucky to be 14, and I think we shared it all the way around.
You could do that where he come from. There was no rules, I don't think.
God, he was an absolute gentleman.
Bloody champion. Let's go. Johnny, Port Augusta. Who you thinking, mate?
Hi, boys. Just on to Garfield Sobers, before I get my point, before I get my nomination. I reckon he might be the best cricketer of all time. He's a member of the Don, so best all-rounder, clearly. And I reckon, he could even be the greatest cricketer of all time. Keith Miller said that. But Gav Wanganeen's my choice as a Port man. Gav Wanganeen.
The signing from Essendon back to Port?
That's big. Yeah, thanks,
that
Johnny.
Particular
that's
year,
a big one.
because I was going to say came from Port, but now there was one down here. I think it was Bill. He's just said, having been a teacher of young Hugh Jackson, he said you'll never meet a nicer guy. And then he said, and by the way, I think Sir Donald Bradman was not a bad signing either.
Oh.
So what I would say to that, there's been a couple of others who said that it was a pretty big signing.
Yeah.
Bradman was bigger, and I actually don't reckon that we signed Don Bradman. I reckon he signed us. I reckon that's the way he dealt in those days. He was bigger than Ben Hur, wasn't he? He was huge. And you would have said, I'm coming to South Australia and you will sign me.
We made him. We made
him, you reckon?
Well, yeah, we did. Well, how good was he playing before he come here?
Well, he was hitting a golf ball up with a stump.
I was going to say,
for a while there, wasn't he?
He'd already had a marvellous first-class career before he came here.
But he put his roots down in Adelaide, as most people do.
Well, yeah, but he'd made a few thousand runs and a few triple hundreds and all that before, yeah. And I'll find out what year he came, but he was a well-established champion.
As a young man.
No.
Oh, he was well-established.
Thanks, Bill from Glenelg. He said that
wins. I think the conversation's over. That wins.
No, come on.
Yes, it is. We'll beat Sir Donald Brentman, the greatest ever.
I didn't mind Pete's story about Sir Garfield. That wasn't bad at all. So give us a call. Biggest signing in Adelaide sport since ... Tell us who you reckon is the biggest. And a bottle of black guts, please, from Ruston Wines.
How can you not?
Hang on, before you go to the break, breaking news, can we have that thing?
Go
up. There's something. Tex isn't playing. You lads swear out off the press.
Yeah.
Tex is out.
Sid will
You're
be
out of the loop. Sid will be sub, which means Berry will be in the starting.
Yeah, we
thing.
did say that in the beginning of the show.
Thank you, Christian from Fairview Park. I think I said all of that yesterday.
Yeah, you did, but...
Sandra Sully. How's that bloke that said it, Sandra?
The team will officially drop in 3 minutes. So
we'll see it officially.
Trying to get the teams up very shortly. But that is the inside word. Thank you, Christian from Fairview Park. We will continue to talk about this humongous signing about the 36ers and Bryce Cotton very shortly after the headlines when we speak to the chairman and owner of the 36ers themselves, Grant Kelly.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
If we did get 25 mils on Monday,
David Penberthy and Will Goodings,
the very top end of the Bureau's target, we would still be having the driest start to a year in 134 years.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
No wonder this algal bloom's been out there enjoying itself so much.
Yeah, it's perfect conditions, isn't it?
No wind.
5AA breakfast.
If you're a large, massive gunk that likes lying around...
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles. More than 3,000 Toyotas, Camrys, Corollas, Land Cruisers, 2,000 Mitsubishis, Tritons, Outlanders, Pajeros, over 500 VWs. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Scammers and fraudsters, they'll come at you any way they can. Texts, emails, phone calls, even social media. They're relentless. But so are Westpac. We don't just rely on one line of defence to protect you and your money. We've got layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of scam and fraud defence. That's a lot of layers. When it comes to security, you can never have too much. Westpac, layers and layers of scam and fraud defence. Westpac Online Banking, T's and C's apply.
At Barossa Volkswagen, the open road is calling. Now, I'm talking about no tight turns, no traffic cones, no awkward loops past the office blocks. No siree.
Because at Barossa Volkswagen, your test drive, it'll wind through the rolling vineyards plus gum trees and golden fields. You can open up the windows, have a smell. You can smell the Shiraz.
Fresh.
Turn up the music as loud as you want and actually feel what it's like to take a real test drive.
Now, if one afternoon's not enough, don't worry about it. No problems. They'll hand you the keys for the night. No hard sell, no hovering salespeople. Just take a blanket and have a sleepover.
Yeah, no hovering salespeople, but Woody will be there. He's great. Hey, test drive the new Volkswagen Amarok. God, this is a great car. And by all means, take it for a spin. Take your time. Park it in the driveway. Whistle to the neighbours. Come and have a look at this. This is an Amarok. What? Show it off to the neighbours, as I said. You're guaranteed to love the experience because Barossa Volkswagen, they're brilliant. City service, country feels.
Cheapest Chips Super Sale is on now.
Cheapest Chips.
With 20% off indoor and outdoor furniture, excluding mattresses. Shop big Black Dot clearance. Manchester up to 50% off. Become a member, start earning points and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips.
Are you on the hunt for Adelaide's freshest eggs, collected from a family farm every morning? Do you seek the finest produce, along with the widest selection of Dutch products in Adelaide? Your search ends here, at the Fresh Egg Shop in Clemzig. Discover a bounty of free-range chicken, duck and quail eggs, alongside an array of other hearty local offerings, such as boiler chickens, KI honey, almonds, homemade jam and biscuits. The Fresh Egg Shop, located at OG Road, Clemzig. Just look for the giant egg.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
David Bruce with the 5AA News headlines.
The Liberals and Nationals look almost certain to reconcile after talk of a separation. A motorcyclist is fighting for his life in hospital after an accident involving a truck at Blackwood yesterday. Persistent showers and strong winds are expected to cause problems over the next few days. And in sport, Port Adelaide take on the Doctors tomorrow night. The Dockers tomorrow night in Perth. The Powers made 4 changes for the match. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon, couple of Bengals to look out for today. One at Woodville, South Covey, Stobie Pole, Woodville Road out front of the QEH. Para Hills, another crash there. Kessers Road near Liberman Road, and Glen Road plate to news following a burst water main. Payne Road near Edward Street, pretty bumpy and pretty slow this Savo. Cameras Ryder Street, Gawler South and South Terrace in the Parklands today. Dan Murphy's don't match prices, they beat them. And with Dan's deals, get Pure Blonde 330ml bottle was 24 case, $53 for My Dan's members. Ends Sunday. Choose a drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or two developing tomorrow and getting windy. A top of 21, 9 the overnight low. Currently at 17. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
27 minutes to 5. We are live today on this Footy Friday at the Port and Vine Hotel. You can come join us here in Port Adelaide. Riley O'Brien's going to join us live from 5 o'clock here. It's going to be a great evening. You can watch the show live as well if you can't get here on the Mornteen Cheltenham Hyundai live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube. And the Crows have made one change for the game against the West Coast Eagles. Luke Pedlar will come into the side and Nankervis will go out. Taylor Walker is positioned at full forward.
So he's playing. Sid Draper not in?
No Sid Draper.
So
Christian,
I don't think we're out the loop.
No.
I don't think we're out the loop. Christian, I think you might be in a loop that perhaps is feeding misinformation.
Yeah, okay. This is not misinformation.
No, last night we ran with this.
Oh, God. What was the first thing I said? Did they? Have they? Would they? Could they?
Yeah.
They're going to need a bigger stadium.
They're going to need a bigger stadium.
The 36ers have landed, I think, possibly the best player the NBL's ever seen. If you read his record, we know 5-time MVP, 3-time he's been a championship team. He's an absolute star. They reckon an absolute cracking fella. His name is Bryce Cotton, and 36ers fans, if you've ever played the Wildcats, this bloke hurts them every single...
49 points last time he played
Oh, my goodness, their chairman and owner is Grant Kelly. Grant, what a coup. Well done.
Thanks, Rowey. Hi, Timmy. Yeah, no, it's a great day for the club.
Well, it's more than that. We're running a...
is it the biggest signing since?
Is it the biggest signing since?
And so far, since Bradman.
Since Donald Bradman. You're being very modest there, Grant. To your executive and your team. Yeah.
Boys, I have to confess, I heard the start of the show and some pretty big names there. You know, Darren Jarman, I think, Rowey, you mentioned, and then obviously Gary Sobers and Joel Garner, Timmy, you mentioned. But, the truth is that in basketball, without doubt, this is the biggest signing, and it's probably arguably the biggest free agency signing in the league's history as well. So, look, from our perspective, wonderful news, and we're just so excited for our fans.
Yeah, like I said, you're going to need a bigger stadium. Tell us how it happened, how it transpired. Tell us how you wooed him, and tell us how you nailed it.
You know, at the end of March, Rowey, Bryce had announced that he didn't want to go back to the Wildcats. I shouldn't say didn't want to go back to the Wildcats, wanted to do something different. We all thought it was likely to be Japan. But Matt Weston, our general manager, stayed in touch with Bryce's people and right through the course of April. And then, so I suppose in early May, we started to re-engage, and those conversations went, pretty hot earlier in the week. So it literally started to really heat up actually on Tuesday around about lunchtime. And then really the last 72 hours, the entire club was sort of on a war footing to get this done. And we were able to do that and not have it leak, which was extraordinary. But just full credit to Matt Weston and Nick Barbato. But I think the guy that really brought this home was Mike Wells, because Wellsy had coached Bryce as a young guy in Utah in about 2015. And that obviously stayed in touch. I think Bryce is an admirer of Wellsy, and they get along at a personal level, which is very helpful. But I think Mike was the instrumental sort of piece in the puzzle here.
Hey, Grant, congratulations. It is an incredible signing. I think everybody sort of thought he was going to float off to Japan. There was that rumour and the like. Who sort of thought, well, I might just check up on him? Was it Mike that just thought, Matt Weston, just, where is he? What's he doing? And just finding out?
So Timmy, we're sort of the BP Australia, club in the NBL. We're the quiet achievers. So we actually have a database of about 200 point guards globally, of whom Bryce is obviously at the top of that list. But we have the same for power forwards and for all key positions. So in the last 2 years, we've actually systematised all of our recruitment. We track everything. Bryce was our number one target. I will tell you we had others, particularly when, the conversations with Kendrick were discontinued. But clearly, once it went hot, we knew the statistics. We knew the game plan that would work for him. We thought a platform, especially with Flynn Cameron being a guy that could play in the one position, which is point guard, in basketball, and Bryce, of course, being a natural shooting guard, it meant that we actually didn't have to recruit a point guard to replace KD necessarily. And so if we move Flynn to the one, we have Bryce at the 2 and DJ at the 2/3. We've probably got the best backcourt, we think, in the NBL.
Pretty exciting stuff. I did say this morning on breakfast when we were talking about it to Will and Pembo, they said that the Western Australian wasn't very happy. The front page, Lying King, and pretty forceful stuff. I said, you know what the great news is for Bryce? I said, we don't have the Western Australian here. So that's great news. He don't have to read it, does he, Grant?
That's right. I think it's, I can never log on to it. It's protected by a firewall, so it's not on any of the other platforms, Fairfax or News Corp or anything like that. So, I'll be honest, I thought that headline was very unfortunate. Obviously we're being, polite, politically correct, call it what you will, by not commenting on that. But, just as an individual, I thought that was, frankly, pretty unfair. And, our discussions with Bryce have been completely professional. He's been, frankly, a pleasure to deal with the entire way. So I thought that was regrettable, but, sport's emotional, and I suppose at the end of the day, the Perth fans have the right to their point of view. But, obviously from our perspective, we're just simply focusing on the future now, and couldn't be happy to have Bryce as a 36er.
From a marketing point of view, though, Grant, in all seriousness, I think when you do play Perth here in Adelaide, I'd be seriously thinking about the Adelaide Convention Centre or something and opening it up. Or I'm telling you, you will not have enough people to be able to get in. It'll be incredible because it's a marketer's dream.
Timmy, you're right. I mean, it's we've done 21 sellouts in a row. I mean, obviously we sold out all of last year, and we sold out pretty much all of the entire year. I think we sold about 11 or 12 of those 14 games. So, we were already at capacity. It does raise the question of how much longer we can play in a 10,000-seat arena. Look, having said that, we understand that, priorities are what they are in terms of infrastructure and investment in the state, and we respect this government enormously. They've been absolutely fantastic for our club, but there's no question that with the sort of teams we're putting together and the draw cards they represent, there is going to be enormous demand for memberships and for ticketing.
Yeah, well done. One swallow doesn't make a summer, that's a saying, but one Bryce Cotton can help an NBL championship. There's no excuses now.
That's a metaphor.
You know what I'm like, Grant. I can get on a bandwagon. I am on the 36 train.
He loves a proverb.
I do. and Grant, we're hearing you've got a couple of really good other irons in the fire as far as imports.
Yeah, we do, boys. We've actually got so now we're shifting our attention to the 4 position. Which is, of course, where Montrez played last year. He was an absolutely fantastic person to have around the club. He's a guy that has expressed his intent to come back to the NBL. There's a lot of, water yet to go under that bridge, but, we completely understand that our fans would love to see Montrez back, so that's certainly a strong consideration. And, we'll keep working away at all of the options for the 4 position. And what we've obviously got to do now is kind of, as they say in basketball terminology, Rowey, calibrate. We've got to calibrate for, a different backcourt, slightly different than what we'd envisaged. But the conversations around that power forward role are very well advanced, and we hope to make an announcement fairly soon on who that will be.
Hey, we're down at the Port and Vine Sports Bar Cellars. It's got great food and that. It used to be the old First Commercial. Your dad, you said, had a business here at Divot Street. You used to frequent this bar quite frequently.
What was the business, Grant?
Yet another Kelly family connection to Port Adelaide, Timmy. And Rowey, you're absolutely right. No, when it was First Commercial, when Greg Phillips, Aaron's dad, had it, Dad used to drink at the First Commercial because his business was on Divot Street. And we actually had a business there which used to clean out all the dunnage from ships. So all the packaging and everything, and we'd take it and burn it. I think we'd dispose of it, hopefully legally. Hopefully nobody will sue me for environmental, creating environmental hazards, 30 years ago. But
no asbestos here.
and my father thought it was good for me as a law student to go down there every summer and literally have the bejesus knocked out of me disposing of ship crates and everything. So I've had more than a few beers in the first. And funny enough, I said to our media guy Lucas today, I said, let's go into FIVEAA and sort of on the way home, and I can do the interview there. But he didn't mention it was actually at the Port and Vine. So I'm jealous of you boys being there. And jealous of. I know Riley's coming in, great pub, and I wish them well on the relaunch.
You're welcome anytime.
Well, Grant, this is a coup, not only for the Sixers, for basketball fans, the greatest state for
South
sport.
Australia.
We love champs, and he is a champ, and let's hope we've got a championship team well on our way to that, Grant. As always, thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bloke want anything as much as a championship as this Grant Kelly.
The thing I'm probably...
The owner, he just wants it for the state.
The thing I'm excited most about is the Bryce Cotton. It's his character.
Yes.
We know he's a champion player, but it's his character. And I was talking to Mike Wells about how hard is it to always start again with the roster, You got a guy like this that's going to be there for 3 years.
Just follow him.
Oh, how good.
Oh, mate, he's
well
there,
done.
G. McIntosh. Grant Kelly, our guest line's available. Let's go to John. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I got a name for you.
Oh, yeah, great signing.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, we are, John.
Any chance, Johnny, any chance.
I'm going to say Aaron Phillips.
Oh, that's a good one, John.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You'd be saying Aaron Phillips to the Adelaide Crows?
When she had no chance of ever playing AFLW, Phil Harper reached out to her and she accepted the chance to captain the inaugural Adelaide Crows team, which went on to win the premiership in Brisbane, which I attended. What a wonderful, wonderful time it was. Erin was a great ambassador for the Adelaide Football Club, and I really, really admired her father, who supported her all the way through her journey with the Adelaide Football Club.
Yeah. Johnny, that is a great
call, John.
Because we got Erin, when we say we, this state, football, AFL, AFLW, and then Port, from basketball, another sport.
Yeah.
No,
That's a good call, John.
He gets the black gut stress.
And don't underestimate our very own Lee Forrest playing a part in that recruitment as well.
Because he did speak to Phil Harper.
He spoke to Erin and initially said, have you got any interest in playing? And she said, well, no one's ever reached out. So he went to Phil and said, you better ask Erin. She's interested.
Oh, so it's his fault.
Help facilitate.
I was actually in the room when that happened. We were interviewing Erin about a WNBA game.
Right.
And Lee Forrest was our producer. And then, when you do a pre-record, he said, hey,
how many fathers has this got?
No, but it is. Lee Forrest asked the question, 1 and 1 equaled 2. Phil Harper made the call, and the rest is history.
But Johnny,
that is a great nomination.
Brilliant.
Johnny, well done.
Well done. So are we holding the black guns, or are we giving it away now?
To him. That's going to be hard to beat.
I think it's normally
we said
put down the glasses. We normally have a chat.
Well, hang on.
You're in the running, John.
Hang on. Who's the black guts man sitting at this table at the Port and Vine?
Well, are we talking physically or
who spent more money there, time there?
Yeah, fair call. Fair call.
14-5. More of your calls for the Rusden Black Guts next, but let's check your roads.
G'day there. A couple of crashes this Savo. One at Woodville South, Cove East Dobie Pole, Woodville Road out front of the QEH. Another crash at Para Hills, Kester's Road near Liberman Road, and Glen Road plates and use following an earlier burst water main. Paynham Road near Edward Street should be slow and bumpy for the drive home. Cameras, Wamaro Drive, North Adelaide, and Osmond Terrace at Norwood to Savo. Barbecues galore, massive $10 million clearances on all this week. Plus, early end of financial year offers this week only, online and in store. Don't miss out. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Southern Cherry before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit southerncherrymorfettvale.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
The Adelaide Showground Farmers Market has a producer's guarantee. Everything is produced by the people selling it, so it's all local. It means you know who distilled your gin, who baked your bread, whose chooks laid your eggs and who picked your veggies. It means less food miles, reducing your carbon footprint, and your food is tastier, fresher and often lasts longer. Join as a member at the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market to save 10% on everything all year long. Visit us every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 12:30.
Don't miss Toolkit Depot's massive 48-hour store-wide frenzy. It starts today, but it must end tomorrow.
Well, it's the perfect time to stock up before tax time with 10% off almost everything in store and online.
Absolutely. That's 10% off brands like Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Bosch, King Chrome, Sigweld and more.
Wow. So whether you're a tradie, a weekend DIYer or someone like me who just likes to, I don't know, potter around with tools. I like to potter. Get the right tools and look, honestly, you're set. That's it. If you've got the right tools, you're set. Toolkit Depot has you covered.
Yeah, don't wait. It's strictly 48 hours. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't miss Toolkit Depot's 10% off almost everything. It starts today and must end tomorrow. In-store or online, some exclusions apply.
The Great Caravan and RV end of financial year sale is on now at Camper Agent RV Supercentre. It's the biggest sale event of the year with up to $20,000 off selected new caravans and motorhomes. Plus, up to $20,000 off selected pre-owned motorhomes and camper vans. Unbeatable value with a 3-year warranty available on eligible models. Shop from top names like Winnebago, Windsor, Corrimal, Hitchhiker and X-Tour. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply. Only at Camper Agent RV Supercentre, Parafield Gardens.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made suits using the finest Italian fabrics from Zegna, Canali, Zignoni, Holland and Sherry, along with many more. Special occasions or business, stand out in a tailor-made suit by Ignition for Men. Best fit, best brands. Call into 54 Paynham Road, Stepney, or visit ignitionformen.com.au.
At Edwardstown Mazda's biggest ever end of financial year sale, drive away with up to $10,000 in savings and go into the draw to win the ultimate New Zealand getaway. Only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
10 minutes to 5. We're live at the Port and Vine Hotel. Riley O'Brien will join us live from 5 very shortly. And we've got tickets to 5AA's Ultimate Friday Knockoffs at the Beer and Barbecue Fest's 10th and final birthday. It's on the King's birthday weekend. It's Friday the 6th of June. It's going to be a great night. It's the same night the Crows play Brisbane. And we've got a VIP space where you can sit down in front of the big screen with barbecue and beer and watch the big game. And if you'd like to head along and sit in those seats, we can give them to you right now. 8223 0055 is the number to call and you can win. Right now for a bottle of Rusden Black Cuts, though, we're asking the question, Bryce Cotton, is he the best signing in Adelaide sport ever or the best since? Who?
Yeah, well, we've had Andrew Jarman and Norwood. Yeah,
oh, that was controversial, wasn't it?
That was good for us.
Yeah, that was controversial. Caesar says, Timmy, how can you forget Romario to United? Well, I don't forget it, actually. I like to let other people enjoy it, but it was one that I had written down on my little list there. So thank you for reminding us, Caesar.
And just mentioning the team again, Lukey Pedler's in, my boy Lukey, which is great. Nan Curvis drops out. Looks like Sam Berry will come on into the starting 22. We'll work out what the sub is on the Sunday. Taylor Walker will fill his boots up and kick another 10. He's playing The wind is gone, the rain is gone, the sleet, the hail, the snow will come on Monday.
He'll have a rest next week in
and
Sydney.
He'll have a rest next week in Sydney.
Let's go to Marion. G'day, Sam.
Good day, Timmy and Stephen. Just two quick things. I really would be upset if they put Jackson as a sub, Timmy.
Yeah. You know what? That's a great call, Sam. That's a great call. I hope they don't do that.
I hope they don't do that because they did that to Lorenz and he's like a yo-yo at times. He really... No confidence if you're a sub, Timmy.
I agree, Sam, because I reckon they should almost make it a rule. The AFLPA should step in and say no debutant should be a sub. You either play or you don't.
Yeah.
And
call,
look, if you're halfway through the third quarter, if they're gassed, and their tongue's hanging out or whatever, then you can sub them. That's okay because they've got used to they've had a look at the pace. Yeah. But don't do it to begin.
I agree. Sammy, great call. You're in line for that Black Guts. How's this nomination? Lance Armstrong to the Tour Down Under. Andrew, that's a big one.
Aren't you glad you didn't give away that Black Guts now?
To be fair, at the time, it was a massive signing.
It was huge. But then we found out he's a cheat.
Well, is that why Cornsey didn't press record?
He's a sneaky little deviant.
He had real prudence, didn't he, Cornsey?
Prudence. He had prudence.
Big buffhead.
I like that. Let's go to Chris at Burton. G'day, Chris.
Hey, boys, all right?
Yeah,
excellent.
Good on you, Chris.
Oh, now, I reckon, and I'll tell you why, I reckon Sir Garfield was sobers. Now, my reasons are very simple. He can bat and bowl with both hands.
That's right.
He come and played for Prospect, played state cricket here, and I still reckon he is the best cricketer that I've known of. And the one thing that really made it right for me, when my mum was, she just had me, and my father was working at Coca-Cola. He was the rep for Dad, and Dad introduced me to him when she was breastfeeding.
That's a great story.
What a great memory.
Great memory. Hey, I really rate Cage, and when he knows a good cricketer or a good sportsman, he said there's no better than Sir Garfield.
Actually, we got another rap for their show down at Encounter Bay. They said they were outstanding, Cornsey and KG.
Yeah,
so
no, they're great.
Well done.
They're the best. Hey, how old do you reckon Sir Garfield is?
Now?
Just have a guess.
73?
88.
No!
No, that's what I thought. That's why I Googled it, and I wondered if he's still alive, and he is.
He's a champion.
88.
Do you know, I think
Can we get him on for Where Are They Now?
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
I reckon I told the story about, I read the book by Rudy Webster, who was the psychologist for the West Indies when they turned it all around and became the best team for 20 years.
God.
He spoke about Sir Garfield sobers because he wanted to get into the mindset of a champion.
Yeah.
And Sir Garfield was different to a lot of people, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But he used to love partying. And he would party before he played, right? And he'd see people see him at 3 in the morning.
Didn't care.
He didn't care. You know what he said? I'll go out and make 100 and embarrass them.
Wow.
And he
Those
would. What a
were
classic.
the days.
Let's go to Prospect. G'day, Anthony.
G'day, fellas. I'll tell you who the biggest sign-up is, and I'll tell you why. It's Gavin Wanganeen, because without him, Port wouldn't have had a premiership. In the prelim against St Kilda, he got him over the line, and no doubt in the grand final, those 4 goals when it counted, we won the premiership, and it would have been scary to think that Port, to this day, doesn't have a premiership without Gavin.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. I think the other thing
agree.
That signing too was just, I think for Port being brand new to the AFL. They needed a big name.
And they got him.
He was a Brownlow medalist.
They got him.
To get him back, we couldn't get Buckley back. We couldn't get other Craig Bradley and those sort of guys back. We got him. It was very pertinent. Thanks, Anthony.
Anthony, a good one. Sir Garfield Sober's getting many a mention. Michael Owen to Man United. That's not bad.
Jason Sanger just got one to South Australia.
Jason Sanger. I do like this one from Nicholas. Biggest signing, Timmy G to 5AA Sports Show, bringing some real balance to the show. Bang! Hey! Nicholas.
He stole your line.
Get your own gig, mate.
I love it.
It might be enough to get to Rusden Blackguards. Get involved, 8223 0000. We are
Easily
here
bought.
at the Port and Vine Hotel. And if you join us live, you'll run into Crow's big hooah, Rowey O'Brien. He'll join us live next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Ready for your next adventure? Austrac campers are built tough for Australia's wild landscapes. From the coast to the outback, you'll experience unmatched quality with every adventure.
Austrac
campers. Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
South Australia brings you the simple pleasure of a long, long lunch. Welcome to the land of the long lunch, the home of the share plate, where one is encouraged to graze the day away and absolutely always have a look at the dessert menu. South Australia, celebrate the simple pleasures.
Great food, great people. That's the team at Meals on Wheels SA. They believe there should be a magic moment in everyone's day, and food fills the belly while it nurtures the soul. The Big Brunch Drive gives you and your family a chance to help Meals on Wheels SA provide meals and social connection to older Australians. And it's also heaps of fun. Register at thebigbrunchdrive.com and download your toolkit today. The Big Brunch for Meals on Wheels SA. Every bite counts.
Be a part of a powerful afternoon at the Australian of the Year luncheon on Friday, June 20 at the Adelaide Convention Centre.
Yeah, join us as we celebrate Neil Danaher, AO, the 2025 Australian of the Year. Now, through fighting MND, Neil has helped to invest nearly $19 million in research, backed 15 clinical trials and supported more than 600 Australians in life-changing studies.
He should be a saint. Love this bloke.
Great
Now,
fella.
he coached the Melbourne Demons, we know that, played at Essendon, where he learnt to harness the power of teamwork to take on this fight against what he calls...
the beast. That is correct. Now,
to take on what he calls the beast.
Yes, exactly right.
MND.
Now, don't miss this inspiring chance to connect with an Aussie legend making a real difference. In fact, I think I'll go, Stephen.
No, you should. So should I. It'll be an afternoon of incredible stories, no worries, impactful conversations, and a celebration of an extraordinary achievement.
That's spot on. Seats are limited, so book now at australiadaysa.com.au.
Where can you find the best selection of local produce and food from around the world? Only at the Adelaide Central Market. With over 70 traders under one roof, the Adelaide Central Market is your go-to for South Australia's best selection of seafood, meats, cheese, fresh produce, small goods, bread, pastries and more. You'll also find great weekly specials and the best eateries for breakfast, lunch and dinner on a Friday night. Open Tuesdays to Saturday with late night trading on Fridays until 9 p.m. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.au.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. 0. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Southern Cherry before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit southerncherrymorfettvale.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Up-to-the-minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two developing tomorrow, a top of 21 after an overnight low of 9 degrees. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
Beat the winter rush today and make sure your home is comfortable all year round with Mannix.
Some wet weather is on the way, with farmers crossing their fingers that it'll be enough to break the drought. In the hills, up to 30 mils of rain could fall on Monday alone. The Bureau's Daniel Sherwin-Simpson says we'll see showers from tomorrow.
And as we move through Sunday night into Monday morning, we're definitely going to see some decent falls coming through
probably looking at around a minimum of about 10 in the city, and it could get quite a bit higher up in the hills, maybe getting up near the 25, even 30 mark if we get really lucky. So fingers crossed for some of those higher falls up there where they're needed.
Strong winds are also forecast, with emergency services warning people not to park their cars under trees and to stash away things that could take off. The Liberals and the Nationals appear to be close to a reconciliation after Liberal MPs and senators got together today to discuss the issue. But there is still some animosity plaguing both parties. As for the Nationals, former leader Michael McCormack insists he's not interested in returning to the party's top job. But he won't throw his full support behind current leader David Littleproud. Some Nationals are reportedly disappointed with Mr Littleproud's leadership in the wake of the party's split with the Liberals. Mr McCormack has told the ABC it's been an ugly few days, but he won't be challenging Mr Littleproud right now.
Would he have your full support if he was to remain as leader?
I'm ambitious for him.
Would he have your full support, though, Michael McCormack?
I've just given you my answer.
I mean, you can't be happy with what he's done with the party, and I mean, there's been so many negative headlines.
It's been messy. It's been really messy.
A motorcyclist continues to fight for life in hospital after a crash at Blackwood just after 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Police were called to a collision between a truck and a motorbike on Shepherd's Hill Road. The truck driver, a 38-year-old from Holden Hill, has been charged with causing serious harm by dangerous driving. He's been issued with an immediate loss of licence and will face court in July. Researchers have discovered a highly potent opioid which carries a significant risk of fatal overdose. The drug was purchased on the dark web and tested at a substance checking service in Canberra. Australian National University Professor Malcolm McLeod says the illicit substance belongs to a group of synthetic opioids known as nitazines.
Laboratory analysis suggests that it's around 1,000 times more potent than morphine, or even around 90 times more potent than fentanyl, which is a drug that's caused a huge amount of damage in the USA, for example.
A dingo has been stabbed to death after attacking a child on Kagari or Fraser Island. The 5-year-old was bitten on the arm before midday and is now stable. It's understood a bystander came to the rescue of the child and the dingo was killed. The child has been transported to the mainland for treatment. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
The Adelaide 36ers have confirmed former Wildcat Bryce Cotton has signed a 3-year deal. The 5-time MVP announced he split with Perth earlier in the year and was expected to sign overseas. It's one of the biggest free agency signings in NBL history. The Adelaide Crows, or Goanna as they'll be known, has made one change ahead of its First Nations round clash against Warlich Marrawa, or West Coast, at Adelaide Oval on Sunday. Forward Luke Pedler has been elevated from the extended bench to be named in the team and will play his first game for 2025. Defender Luke Nankervis has been omitted. Midfielder Sam Berry will also be part of the starting 22 after featuring as the side's substitute in last weekend's game against Collingwood. Port Adelaide plays Fremantle in Perth tomorrow night. The Power have made 4 changes with Hugh Jackson to make his debut. And at the MCG tonight, Essendon will take on Richmond after Geelong had a 14-point win over the Bulldogs last night. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Hackama Crash, Main South Road near Patapinda Road, Woodville South, Carvey, Stobie Pole, Woodville Road out front of the QEH, and Glen Road plates news following a burst water main. Paynham Road near Edward Street, speeds at 40. Slow at the moment at Croydon, Port Road near Coyne Street. Quite busy, Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North, with the camera at Kettleville Terrace at Kent Town. Bob Jane T-Marts won't be beaten with their best tyre price guarantee. When you're after great service and unbeatable value, head to the Tyre and Wool specialists, Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers developing tomorrow, a top of 21 after an overnight low of 9. A shower or two developing on Sunday, and windy, 21 again. And Monday is going to be another windy day with showers, back to 17 for a top. Currently, it is 17. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, 9 exclusive. The shocking footage from an Adelaide road which has sparked a safety plea to pedestrians. Dangerous weather on the way. We have the alert from authorities and their message for us all. The vitamin showing promise in turning back the clock. And the man who woke up to a cargo ship in his front yard. 9 News. Your news. Night at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
Welcome back. It is 7 minutes after 5 on this Friday, live at the Port and Vine Hotel. Come join us here on a Friday evening. Great weather and a lovely evening for it. We are going to speak to Todd Marshall very shortly. Injured Port Adelaide player as his side heads to Perth. Terry McAuliffe will join us for his tips and your calls as well. For our bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz this Friday night, we're asking, Bryce Cotton is the best signing in Adelaide sport since... Who? You can tell us. 8223 0000. Remember, you can watch the show live on the Morn Team Cheltenham Hyundai live stream. You can take a test drive today and find your perfect Hyundai car there at Port Road, Cheltenham. But right now, all thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more at 919 Marion Road. Marion is our big hooah.
Crows big man Riley O'Brien.
You up the OG! Riley O'Brien!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Rob, welcome.
Hello, boys. Thanks for having me. Good to be in enemy territory tonight.
Yeah, how? Oh, you got the cheers. They're all Port people. The Port and Vine. How good is this pub?
It's a cracker, isn't it? It looks so good. And it's good to have you two in my corner protecting me. So, two tough bodyguards.
I don't think Timmy is, because he hung me out to dry.
I did.
Timmy, are you onto your third Guinness?
No. Drink responsibly.
Oh, God. Now
especially during the show.
Let's start here. John Ralph article on Riley O'Brien's contract.
We've been talking about signings.
Yes, we have. Could he be the biggest signing to Carlton?
Yeah.
Since Ronald Dale Barassi?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Biggs.
Okay. Quote, unquote, inverted commas, Adelaide, which is the club Adelaide, and Ruckman Riley O'Brien's management are long ways apart.
Wow, this is
True
awesome.
or false? Who are?
Mate, I have not seen my manager in the last few weeks, to be honest with you.
So he's not doing his job?
Last time, I think he's doing his job behind the scenes. So I tell him, just leave me, play footy, come back to me when you got real news, and he hasn't had any recently. So
okay, so that means that you're poles apart.
Last time, we spoke earlier in the year, and that's the last time I heard where we're at, and then every negotiation's a bit like that, Rowey. It's a bit of back and forth.
I do them every day. That's okay.
Yeah, you know what it's like.
But is there a willingness and a want to stay at the Crows and be a one-club player?
Yes, absolutely there is.
That's
definitely,
good.
yeah.
So is it about the dollars or is it about the term?
A little bit about the term.
You want security?
Yeah, security is always good, and it's a little bit going on, but I can't reveal too much more. I don't know too much more to reveal, to be honest. I'm a bit in the dark myself, so I better give my manager a call after this.
That's okay. So how old are you?
I'm 29.
And what sort of term are you looking at?
2 or 3 year deal would be great.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. I just want to share some news with you. You have signed, your management did sign this deal with 5AA, thanks to Harvey Norman, which we love, the Harvey Norman.
Thank you.
I'm going to roll some names past you, Hua.
Okay, I'm ready.
Tippett, Dangerfield,
hello.
Betts, Lever, Duday, Houston.
Oh, yeah.
They all did a radio spot and left.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Oh, don't pretend you don't know that.
I didn't listen to 5AA back then. I was still in primary school when Tippett was around.
Oh, classic.
But there you go. Wow, you guys cursing. You guys scare him out of Adelaide.
Mainly breakfast.
No, mainly breakfast.
Mainly breakfast.
Breakfast show, right.
Not drive.
When your management spoke to our management, we said, no. We'll take Riley O'Brien because he will reverse the curse.
Yes.
He will reverse that trend. Because he will stay, because he loves this place.
I look forward to doing that. I look forward to the day I come in here, I break the news with you guys.
Well, you know
exclusive. Fantastic. Exclusive scoop with Timmy and Rowey.
You cannot take your lovely bride away from Bi-Urban bathrooms and kitchens, because it's going to be a double...
The place would fall apart. Bi-Urban would fall apart. Well, and they wouldn't be able to sponsor the show anymore.
Coxie will rip you a new one.
Yep, and the funds would dry up and 5AA be running around for sponsorship dollars.
We haven't. We've got Port and Vine.
Oh, of course. Sorry.
Jeez,
now, a serious question on contracts, and it's probably been prevalent in the last 10 to 15 where it seems like people who are in the last year of their contract play really good footy. Is it a subconscious thing that people want to play well because they know a negotiation is going on in the background? I don't think that's your character because you're going to try and do your best at all times. But do you think some people could be subconscious?
I've definitely heard of guys that are not. They very consciously do that. They know they're on edge for that season and they put a bit more work in, and then they get comfortable after getting a long-term contract, and then their last year they fire up again. I've heard of certain players at other clubs through a few friends that consciously do that.
Name them.
Won't name them.
And then the
a few of them are still playing. So
Initials.
Wow.
I can't reveal. I'll be in big trouble, I reckon.
Yeah.
But they just talk about that. They talk about knowing they're out of contract and how they have to perform, and they find a way to do it.
But isn't that, for me, I want to perform because I have pride.
100%.
Yeah, that's,
but Timmy, we played for nothing.
And I think most guys are like that, Timmy. I think most guys you'll find, but there's an occasional guy who might be low on motivation that might need that.
Yeah.
But certainly most guys are not playing for the contract. They're playing for their teammates, for their club, and to win, which is definitely the way I go about it.
Well, you're in career best ruck tap form, and I used to have a bit of criticism to you for that connection with the midfielders. You are averaging 11 hit-outs to advantage, and we're scoring from them. So I don't care what nought you want. Put another nought on it because you're now of value.
Well, not in front of her.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, you put a nought in front of her. That's not good. That means you're getting 0.100.
You are. Your numbers are career best. I know you want to be an F back in 2000, but your numbers, the craft, what we pay you for, which is hitting to advantage, the ruck craft, is the best you've rucked.
Yeah, feeling right, Rowey. Feeling right.
Good.
We went all right as a group last week in the midfield. Didn't do as well in other areas, but yeah, certainly over the last month feeling pretty strong, and we're building certainly in there. So still some work to do, mate, but yeah, feeling all right.
Good. Lost to Collingwood by 10 points.
Yes, we did.
We had Eddie Maguire ring in from Broadmeadows saying, my favourite number's 10. We'll go and get nicked, Eddie. I didn't send him that red either. I've got to remember to do that.
Don't renege.
He told us how he thought Collingwood won it. Tell me how you thought you lost it, because that's how I worded it. I said there were free kicks paid that weren't meant to be there. There were misses from goals. Ranker missed 2. Kurt missed that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of us just missing our moments.
Yes.
So a lot of missed opportunities in the second half, especially the last quarter, and then a couple of red time goals at the end of the third really killed us too. So we had, I think we had 6 goals from red time last week. So
and that's a trend.
Yeah, it is a trend. It's one we've addressed during the week. So it's just a matter of staying on edge for that last couple of minutes. It seems to be a trend where we're slipping away, letting a couple of goals against, and having the run of play for large chunks of quarters and then going down.
Okay, and I know the problem.
What's that?
And I brought it up.
Yes.
I brought it up with your captain, Jordan Dawson.
Yep.
I know the problem.
I don't want problems, I want solutions.
I'll give you the bloody solution. Rob, you big hooer. The rooster that's on the bench is holding up the wrong sign in red time.
Oh, no. Which one
Hold
was
up
it?
the green one. Just green. Go.
Green, yeah, okay.
I don't want a T with a bloody arm and let's play tempo footy. No, you're in red time, you losers. Score.
Yeah.
How about that, hooer?
Okay, that could be a good one, Rowey. I like that. I like that a lot. So maybe this week we might just put 10 ahead of the ball and see how we go.
Yeah. Can I? You clearly haven't heard the response by your skipper, Jordan Dawson.
I haven't, no. What did he say?
Well, if we got it, we'd have played it. But he basically said, Timmy, great question. You know football, unlike your co-commentator, Rowey.
Wow, whack.
It was a cop that and play fair.
Yeah. Wow, that's not very... I'll have a word to him for you, Rowey.
No.
I think that's out of line.
No, if you heard it in context, you'd love it.
You're an expert commentator.
Timmy, piss off.
Well, you know what? We've got it for you, mate. We're going to play it right now.
Timmy, that's a great point, mate. You definitely know your footy, unlike Rowey. That's probably why you're in radio and not in coaching, I reckon.
Oh, wow.
Don't you laugh, hooer?
Wow.
See,
okay.
now you do like it, see?
What are you laughing at?
I would never say that to you, Rowey.
No, you can say what you want. Do you know what? We came here and we said, what do you want? The owner? What's it?
Darren or
Darren
Birdie or
Jason?
Yeah,
they all come up. They said, do you want anything? We said, no, we're right. I said, I'll get a water. And then I said, look, let's just get a bowl of chips because he needs his carbohydrates.
All right.
The chips were put in front of you. You've slid them in front of me. And I thought, well, this is making me look like a big fat pig. So then I said to the hooer, I said, how much do you weigh? Because you're 202 centimetres.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Huge.
Well, I'm...
stripped down to the bone.
178. I'm a 5'9". I had to weigh myself because I've been on this bean diet. I've been eating beans and freaking lentils.
Bloody hell. Your poor wife.
That's why we're in the open air.
I tell you what, I blow that doona off at about 5:30 in the morning.
Gosh.
Now you're 100 and what kilo?
106 or so.
As fit as a mallee ball.
Yeah.
I'm 114.
Wow. But, Rowey, you got to remember, you're a power athlete. I'm more endurance,
I like it.
you're a bit more power.
So, I like it.
Yeah. That's the way you got to look at it.
See, Captain Positive, the hoo-ha.
Yeah, very.
Let's talk about the weekend.
Great liar.
The Texan is... Timmy's just showing off in front of his all Port Adelaide mates, isn't he? Have a look at them all there with their prison bar jumpers. Hey, yeah, how good's that? Hey, you know what's going to happen to me? I'm going to lose my tyres and all sorts on the way home. Taylor Walker's playing.
Yep, he's playing at this stage. So yeah, they want to rest him at some stage throughout the year, but he's not really one to want to do that. So yeah.
So would it be his call? He would have said, no, I want to play. So would have the coaches and the PPT respected that and said, well, look, your numbers are good. You're still playing well. You rested last week.
Yeah, it's a bit of an ongoing conversation with the two of them, between Tex, the coaches, and Darren Burgess to manage that, because obviously he's bit older and we want him primed for the back end of the year.
Okay.
Missing travel, though, that would probably be the key for Tex, wouldn't it?
To play.
Missing one that's sort of like...
Yeah, probably, on a shorter break. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Especially the longer trips.
So gamble responsibly, whether you're with Sportsbet or whomever. I would be tipping the Texan, now that it's not going to rain 10 mils and be windy and all that, he'll kick 9+.
Well, he's averaged that the last couple of games against them, so that's about his going average. I reckon the line for that would be about 8.5 goals.
Well, gee, you know you're gambling. Gamble responsibly. Now, the other good news is, and I know you sing his praises, Lukey Pedlar is back.
Yes, he is. I love Lukey Pedlar, the way he plays. He had a great year before last, and he dominated at AFL level and had a few issues with his body, and I've been looking forward to seeing him back in the team because he brings so much X factor ahead of the ball. He's very powerful, competes in the air, big tackles, converts when he needs to. He's a very, very exciting player.
Yeah, he's one of the rare ones on your list. I think Sid Draper's got a bit of power, but this bloke's got the different power. I say he's a bit like De Goey, so he doesn't have to accumulate 30 touches. He'll never do that, or 20. But he's 15 or 16. He's a moment player, and he can sit on your head, kick a long goal, and make the big tackle. I love that about him.
100%. He's definitely a moments player, Rowey. And as I said, we're probably lacking in those moments at the moment, and he can really provide that going forward. So looking forward to seeing what he can do this week. Okay, a lot of texts always come through. Where's Sid Draper? Where's Sid Draper? Sadly, they played one state game, missed one, played another one. They can't get any sort of continuity up, and I feel Sid needs that, doesn't he? Yeah, that'd be handy, definitely. It's certainly hard in the sample with buys and state games. I think there's, 17 sample games for the year and a 24-game AFL season, so they have a lot of buys. But he'll be back in there soon. Okay. I want to read a stat to you about the West Coast Eagles. They're 1 win, 9 losses. They did win last week, and they got up, and it was an emotional win for the Selwood family, and God bless him. Since round 7, and we are now round 11, the Eagles are number 2 in the whole of the AFL for pressure acts. They have a pressure act of 184, which is elite. They're going to bring the heat. Yeah, wow, I didn't know that, Rowey. That's a good stat. That's about all they can bring because they can't play. I think they've won their clearances and they've won contested ball around the midfield as well the last couple of weeks. So they're doing it right, especially from stoppage and scoring from stoppage as well. So they've certainly picked up their game the last few weeks. So had a great game last week at home, and we'll look to certainly take it up to them early and see if they can come with us. Were you impressed with that stat? Because that's a big stat, pressure. One thing that Treaders always says, and Timmy, you always say, you got to pack your boots, your mouth guard,
and your effort.
And effort.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just make sure that's
it's pretty simple because they're simpletons. I mean, that's, you know, I packed a lot more than that. I'm sure you did too.
A few more things than that in the kit bag, Rowey.
Well, you need your ankle strap.
A few party,
you don't like
party tricks.
Maybe a bit of class and a bit of talent. That would help. Hey, Rob, I was looking at the West Coast. I just had a little... Flynn, I hadn't seen a lot of him. Now, you always talk about the big hooers. Yeah. This guy's a big guy, and he had 17 disposals, kicked a goal. He actually moves all right. But I found out he's 27 years of age, so he's no young'un.
So he's been at GWS for quite a while. So I played against him round 1 a couple of years ago in that really hot game in Sydney. I played against him at GWS. Yeah, and he's a good player. Yeah, he's played a fair chunk of AFL footy, and him and Bailey Williams are doing the ruck duties, so it'll be a good battle.
What's his surname? Flynn.
Flynn.
Yeah, you know what his nickname is?
Errol.
Inlight.
Oh, no.
What? So I want you to say that out in the field. Errol Flynn was a good-looking rooster.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll
Let's
roll
not
with
go
that.
on
And
with the explanation of it. Yes, that's
Just
right.
quickly, the Indigenous round this week, and the ambassador is your man T.I.
Correct.
Who I hadn't heard of before you mentioned him the other week, and then I saw him pop. I said, hang on a minute. Rowey talked about that guy.
Yeah.
All the time.
T.I.
Do yourself a favour. See if you can watch some highlights of him.
Oh,
see if you can get
God.
some highlights of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
what a player.
right. Okay. Might inspire me. Might be running out of the centre again.
And it is Sir Doug Nichols round, so well done for mentioning that. Timmy and I are both very, very lucky with our careers, so I think we played in a very good era. Timmy played with his idol, and that was Russell Ebert, and I played with my idol, which was Stephen Michael. So growing up, who was your idol?
This is going to hurt a few Crows fans, but I love Ryan Treadray.
Wow.
Growing up, I was actually a Melbourne-based Port supporter for about six or 8 years.
Serious?
Yeah.
I knew I liked you.
I was a weird kid. I randomly supported them.
There's a collapse for the Port. Hey,
I actually went.
now you like the Hua, don't you?
Yeah. I went to the 2004 grand final in my Porky as a 9-year-old and had a Ryan Treadray jumper on and.
Get out.
He was my man growing up.
Number 16.
This is it.
Yeah.
We knew we had a connection.
Yeah.
We knew it. There it is.
I don't know if I've ever admitted that publicly, but now the secret's out. So.
You know why you've done
Good place to do it.
Because we're at the Port and Vine, we're on Commercial Road, and there's 100 Port people in front of
I'll
us.
get safely in my car now, so it's good.
They'll carry on your shoulders.
Perfect.
That is a good story
That is
because you
excellent.
are unique. You've got 5 degrees. You're going to be a doctor. What are you, nuclear physicist?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And I was a weird kid too, so maybe that played into it.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Bloody good
I
port
grew
man.
out of it. I grew
You're
out
a
of it.
bloody good port man, you are.
Put your hands together down here at the Port and Vine for a Port Adelaide
Riley
treasure.
O'Brien,
Yes.
The big
2004 Premiership star.
Yeah.
wearing number 16 on his back.
Absolutely.
Hey, have a good one, Rob.
Good
Thanks
on
for
you,
your
boys.
time.
Thank you very much.
Well done for Harvey Norman. Timmy, have you got the credit?
Yes, Harvey Norman. That's thanks to the clearance centre. They've got all sorts of deals and things going on.
I used to say 919 Marion Road, Marion.
That's correct. Washing machines, dishwashers,
That's
TVs, and more at 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Not very often you start with jeers and end with cheers.
Yeah,
but hey,
how good.
Riley O'Brien's got that superpower, doesn't he?
He has.
Redeemed himself.
23 minutes
done,
after
Rob.
5, live at the Port and Vine Hotel. We're going to check your roads.
Afternoon, a crash at Hackham to look out for the Savo, Main South Road near Patapinda Road. Another collision at Woodville South, Carvey, Stobie Pole. That's not great, is it? Woodville Road out front of the QEH. And Glen Road played to news as they fix that burst. Watermains is pretty bumpy and pretty slow. Paynham Road near Edward Street. You find cameras tonight, Bundy's Road, North Adelaide, and Kettleville Terrace at Kent Town. Your cure for boring Friday nights is here. The House of Wellness returns with fresh faces and big energy. Join Mel and Crawford at 8:30pm on 7 and 7+. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
If you want to know what's going on at the Port Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowey and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sharman Shelving. Sharman have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Hi, Brett Ibbott here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. It's always a good idea to buy a Mazda, and now it's even better when you unlock end of financial year deals early. All makes, models and colours plus low-K demos are being cleared with immediate delivery. You'll also get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12 months retro and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Get your end of financial year Mazda early at Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway. T's and C's apply.
Built like a brick house. Basic trailers are your best mate for any load. Use the code 5AA to pay only $1 for rego on purchase of your new trailer. True blue deal at Paraka. Basic trailers. Basically, better.
Your new local has been freshly renovated and relaunched. It was awesome last week at Para Hills Community Centre.
Tia, I walked in, it was packed. That's right, the Para Hills Community Club has more to offer than ever before. It's so fresh, the paint hasn't even dried.
The Para Hills Community Club, well, it's a social hub that brings people together for classic hospitality experience. Now, whether you're heading in for a family meal, letting your hair down with a few drinks, I did both of those last week, some live entertainment, I did that as well, and looking for an exceptional function space, well, the crew look forward to seeing you. They are outstanding.
Yeah, and if you're a northern local looking for your people, well, they drag them from everywhere.
Oh, don't they?
Become a member, do it. become a member, join the community for great discounts and specials.
There was that many raffles there last week.
They gave away 500.
Oh, you'd be unlucky not to win something. Now get down to your new local, the Para Hills Community Club, Bridge Road, Para Hills.
You're smart, you're busy, and your time matters. So when that first sign of illness appears, you need answers, not appointments. That's when you reach for Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test that puts you in control. Fast, reliable results for COVID-19, flu A, flu B, and RSV in just minutes. Make the smart choice for your health and family. Insist on the brand that healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. Cell Life, CELLIFE.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate. What it is, how it works, and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy, and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Tilka Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. Todd Marshall will join us from the Port Adelaide Football Club very, very soon. We are live at the Port and Vine Hotel here, the old commercial, so you'll find it pretty easily. Come join us. We're not too far away from the end of the show, around 6 o'clock, so come down. And we're taking your calls as well for Rusden Blackguards, 8223 0000. Bryce Cotton is the best signing in Adelaide sports since, have you say? ...
Let's go to Warradale. G'day, Tony.
Hey, boys. 1969 SANFL Grand Final. Glenelg signed up Royce Hart for one game. He was doing national service in Adelaide and played for the Bays in the 69 Grand Final. He actually got paid $2,000 for one game. Sadly for him, he got knocked out, but they didn't have concussion protocols back then. I think he had 21 disposals and still kicked a couple of goals.
Yeah, I think you're right too. An absolute champion of the game. But, Tony, that was incredibly big news and a bit controversial at the time because he had obviously been a champion at Richmond, and then to play for Glenelg in that grand final was like, hey, but Sturt, of course, were on an incredible roll of 5 in a row at that stage.
That's a good one, Tony.
Excellent. Let's go to Para Hills. G'day, Peter.
Pete.
G'day, boys. Now, I've got one for you, Timmy, at the end, but Rajat Khan.
Rashid Khan, yeah. Great signing, yes.
And John Nichols, he would have been a real big get for Glenelg at the time, even though perhaps wasn't successful. But the publicity about that.
That would have been massive because he was a big hero in Melbourne, of course, playing for Carlton and captaining and grand finals and you name it, a bit of a legend. Good one, Pete. Nice,
keep him coming in. I do like this one. I do like a good saying, and you like it too, Timmy.
Yes,
how's this one, John, for me?
Yep.
Here's a saying for you, big crowy head. Wisdom has been chasing you, but you've always been too fast. Well, good on you, John. I have wisdom. I actually have wisdom beyond my years.
Absolutely do. I
just don't show it.
I like your ease of business. Ease of business.
That's my favourite one,
It's
isn't
one
it?
of the ones I do quote from you.
Yep.
And I think it's very good. And
pertinent.
You want to say simple, ease of business is the way to go. Like it.
Let's get to the 5:30 headlines. Todd Marshall from Port Adelaide next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
What's the council done to Jetty Road? It looks like part of the bombed outskirts of Kiev.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
There's this park bench there. It looks like they've actually, they got the dimensions wrong. It's in danger of being crushed by a dwarf.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
I know you got to crack eggs to make an omelette.
5AA Breakfast.
But they've done enough stuff down there for you to already know it's going to be a pretty stupid omelette.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
David Bruce with the 5AA News headlines. The Coalition's post-election chaos may not be over just yet, despite the Liberals and Nationals inching closer to reuniting. Strong winds could cause chaos in Adelaide and in the hills over the next few days, with emergency services warning people not to park cars under big trees. A man has stabbed a dingo on K'gari or Fraser Island in Queensland after it attacked a child. And in sport, in one of the biggest signings in NBL history, the Adelaide 36ers have confirmed they've secured former Wildcat Bryce Cotton for the next 3 years. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Hackham, a crash causing a few delays, Main South Road near Patapinda Road. Carby suburb, hole at Woodville South this afternoon, Woodville Road just out front of the QEH. And still got those road plates in use at Glyn as they fix their burst water main, Paynham Road near Edward Street. Pretty slow and pretty bumpy as we speak. Cameras Osmond Terrace, Norwood and Greenhill Road at Burnside. Head to IGA.com.au for catalogue specials like nice and natural chewy muesli bars, 6-pack selected varieties, only $2.50. Half price, ends Tuesday while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or two developing tomorrow, a top of 21, 9 the overnight low. Currently it is 15. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. 0. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from FIVEAA Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit FIVEAAHyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Can't wait to see your future home? Let's bring your vision to life. Visit one of Rossdale Homes' many display villages across Adelaide and the hills. Explore our stunning layouts, finishes and our latest designs for inspiration. Whether it's single story, 2-story, split level or even a custom build, our friendly Rossdale team is here to answer all your questions. For open times and locations, visit rossdalehomes.com.au. Rossdale Homes, your local SA builder, because trust is a must.
Stephen Rowe here.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Timmy, I'm trying to be a chief sommelier at Rusden Wines. Today I'll be tasting Black Guts Shiraz from Rusden. Right, so the drop, Black Guts, complex, layered, deep, but not arrogant.
Yeah, a bit like a Stephen King several books ago.
What? Stephen King. As I was saying, first sniff, it gets the cherry, it's the plum, the dark chalky. Looking at the glass, bacon and eggs for days.
Yeah, that's legs for those playing at home.
What? This wine, well, it's got backbone, bravado, as I said, and it's smoother than a mullet at a meat raffle.
Yes, if I were to translate, that'd be Stephen King here thinks it's pretty good.
Stephen King? Didn't he play for Geelong or is he the author?
He was a great novelist.
Was he?
Look, Black Guts by Rusden Wine, Stephen's favourite, 221 Magnolia Road, Vinevale. It's just out of Tanunda. You will love it.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White Business Sales SA, all that experience flows to you. This ensures you're in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. Touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with South Australian Business Chamber.
All right, that'll be absolutely diddly squat.
Buy any vehicle from Suzuki in the city before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 to 6 live at the Port and Vine Hotel this evening. Terry McAuliffe is going to join us very soon, and we'll get back to your calls as well. For Rusden Black Gut Shiraz, 8223 0000. Get involved with the show. But right now, all thanks to Sharman Shelving, they've moved their showroom next door to the big white building. They are still there at 412 North East Road.
Well, Port Adelaide, they take on the Freo Dockers. It's going to be a big one tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. But the whole team have left for Perth. And we've now got the injured key forward, or should I say, Coach Todd Marshall on the line. G'day, Coach.
Yeah, he might have got a little bit of mail there, Timmy. Yeah, Coach now. No, thanks for having me on.
Hey, mate, this is great news. You're doing some work with the forwards at the Sanford level. That's what you've been doing as you've been recovering?
Yeah, I guess the opportunity sort of popped up. Obviously, weekends are free and sort of wanted to stay involved. So, yeah, it's been a couple games this year where the AFL team's been away and they've been a bit low on staff. So, yeah, sort of organised to coach the forwards, and yeah, it's been a bit of a different experience, but no, one that's a bit eye-opening and enjoyable. So no, it's been good.
So to Rowey, like guys that get long-term injuries like ACLs and the like, and it's a long recovery, and this is similar for you, they sort of learn more about themselves. They learn about the game, but more about themselves. And how's your discovery time going in this time?
Yeah, it's definitely a different outlook on the game. Definitely from up the coach's box, sort of the discussions that happen up there and sort of the moving pieces throughout a game. But, yeah, when I'm just watching the AFL boys, I'm not a great watcher. I get quite frustrated and, you know, can get a bit angry and whatnot. But, yeah, it's a bit different when you coach. You sort of can't let your emotion get involved. And, yeah, I sort of feel like it's helped me, you know, balance my emotions a little bit. So, it's something that probably never thought I'd do, get into coaching, but, yeah, like you said, long-term injury. So, yeah, there's no better opportunity. So, yeah, we'll go again tomorrow and see how we go.
You got a mate with you, I believe. Lockie Jones helping out in defence.
Yeah, Lockie Jones has popped up. We had a game a couple of weeks ago where it was me and Jack Lukosius, and I was sending messages down to Jack on the bench, and he was passing them on. So, no, it's been an interesting sort of year for us rehab boys, but, no, we're happy to help out where we can.
How's your recovery, Todd? Will you be a chance to play this year?
Yeah, that's the plan. Everything's tracking along really well at this stage. Have been running on the grass for 2 weeks now, so you know, probably still a little while away in terms of getting myself up to, you know, match speed and whatnot. But yeah, the first 2 weeks on the grass has been, you know, going really well, and yeah, hopefully back end of the year can sneak on into the games and, you know, build some confidence from there.
Have you got a target round?
It's probably still a little bit too far away, but I'd say, yeah, it'd probably be after round 20, I'd say.
Okay. Do you miss it? Do you miss the playing? Do you miss the hurt? I know you wouldn't miss the head knocks.
Yeah, it's probably a little silver lining, I guess, in terms of all this and giving the head a year off and sort of being able to freshen up a bit. But, yeah, I do definitely miss playing, especially match day. You know, I still sort of head into the rooms before the game and get around the boys, and that's probably the part that, you know, is the most exciting as an AFL player, is sort of that, you know, unknown of what the next 2 hours can bring. So that's probably the part I miss the most. But, yeah, it's been nice sort of waking up Monday morning, not being sore, and, yeah, getting into a full week of training. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. It's probably what I expected, to be honest. I'd get frustrated, but there'd be weeks where I was sort of enjoying rehab and whatnot. But, yeah, I'm obviously keen to get back where I can.
Yeah. The team misses you, no doubt. Just getting back to the head knocks, are they concerned? I mean, you've got a couple in a row, and, you know, you've had the protocols for a while. There's no long-term there for you, Todd?
Nah, so yeah, I've had a few. Obviously, last year had, I think it was 2 in a month. So went through all the protocols and saw a few specialists and whatnot at the back end of last year and got the all clear. So yeah, was heading into this season really clear-minded on how my head is and whatnot. But obviously the Achilles got in the way, and yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a blessing now, sort of having another 12 months off, getting no head knocks. So. Yeah, hopefully when I come back, it's really clear and off my mind.
Have you been able to sit in on reviews?
Nah, I haven't yet. Not sure I want to the way we're going, but...
well, it was one of the questions I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, I've sort of been busy. I think the reviews are normally Monday morning, and that's you know, my busiest time with rehab and stuff. So... yeah, I've sat in on a couple of the Magpies ones with Hamish Hartlett and the other coaches, so they've been a good experience to learn as well. But, no AFL ones yet.
Well, from your previous experience of sitting in on them, I'm just wondering, like, we've had this issue when we've opened up, and there's been multiple goals scored against. I'm just wondering what the discussion would be around on how do we stop the bleeding? How do we stop that so it's only, say 3 in a row rather than, 5, 6, 7 in a row?
Yeah, it's probably what's getting us out of games at the moment. So it's something that we're trying to work out. It's probably more to do with our defence and how we're setting up behind the ball. And I think when teams get momentum like they can in AFL, these days, it's quite tough to stop. But like you said, hopefully, tomorrow night we get the ball rolling our way and we sort of put FIVEAA on the back foot and throw the first punch.
They're an interesting outfit. They probably a bit like us this year, where they've had great games and then they've had a game where you go, what happened there? So they can be caught if you're up and about for it, can't they?
Yeah, they are quite similar to us. They're obviously a quality team, and probably expected them to be a little bit higher on the ladder. But to go away, I think they went away last week and beat the Giants at Sydney.
Yeah.
So they're obviously going to be full of confidence and back to their home deck. So we've played well against them in Perth the last couple of times. So hopefully we can sort of take that into tomorrow night and get off to a good game.
Todd, what are you seeing from the stands game day that needs improving? And let's just concentrate on the forwards or the midfield forward connection. You got a different view up there than being out of the box leading up to these guys. What have you seen?
Yeah, it is a different view up there. It's a lot easier up there as well. So, it's a lot easier watching them out in the ground. But, from my point of view, I think hopefully tomorrow night we can get a bit more movement from the forwards and sort of shift their defence. I feel, I guess especially against Geelong last week, they sort of were able to set their defence. And, when a team like that is able to do that, it's hard to score at the best of times. So, obviously get the ball in the hands of our good users like Butters and Rowey, and hopefully the forwards get on the move, create a bit more space, and we can take a few more marks inside 50 because, I feel like we're working so hard for our goals at the moment. It'd be nice to get a few more easy ones.
Bit of excitement around the traps. Hugh Jackson making his debut. He's earned that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely earned that. He's been chipping away. He's been close a few times, and he's had a few long-term injuries with his hip and whatnot, and he's always bubbly around the club. He's a great lad, and I'm sure he'll go well tomorrow night. He loves the tough stuff, so he'll bring a bit of grit for us and a bit of toughness.
And Willie, after much controversy, gets to play his 100th game. I hope you can really enjoy that over there and hopefully with a win.
Yeah, it's special for Willie, I think, especially in Sir Doug Nicholls' round and, plays 100th and sure to get a few family there for him. And, hopefully he plays a really good game for us and, he's a moments player, so hopefully he can have a few big moments tomorrow night and kick a few goals for us and, help us win.
Absolutely. Hey, you keep up the good coaching, mate, all right? And get recovered. Get back on that turf in a Guernsey instead of a coach's polo, all right?
Yeah, I will, mate. Thank you.
Sensational. Todd Marshall, key forward and coach for Port Adelaide. I love it. And I think they do learn a lot about the game when they're sitting in that chair.
You always talk about how Robbie Gray came back a totally different player, professional and star.
Yeah, and I'm expecting the same from Todd.
Yeah, no, well done. Todd Marshall, our guest.
Outstanding. All thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building. They're still at 412 North East Road. Before we go to a break, still some time for your calls for that Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. Bryce Cotton's the best signing in Adelaide sports since.
We'll get to that, but there's a quick text here. I love our listeners, you know that. Hi, here's a good saying again for you, Rowey. Quote, it's better to be silent and thoughtful than to speak up and remove all doubt. Well, good on you, Pete.
Do you know, back in the day, you used to get a bus ticket and those sayings used to be on the back? And I remember that one. Classic. Let's go to Kevin at Hallett Cove. G'day, Kev. What's the best signing, you reckon?
Guys, I'm going modern and something that's opened us up to the rest of the world, Greg Norman's Live Golf.
Oh, gee,
That is a
Kev,
signing.
Great one.
He's come pounding at the line for the Rusden's Blackguards.
Yes.
Pounding at the line.
It's going to be tough, Judge.
What about Peter Malinauskas getting gather round? There's a signing.
There's a signing. Rowey's now in the running.
Oh, come on. He can't be in the running. He's the one supplied.
Kev. No. Hello, Pete.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. Good.
Well, I'm at Crystal Brook, across the road from the Rowey Hotel. 1978 All-Stars, Martin Leslie, George Fiazzi, and 7-time All-Stars, Stephen Rowe.
Wow.
Was that the West End Team of the Year one, was it?
It might be.
Yes, it is, mate. I'm looking at the photo now. Jack Carl's the coach, McDermott, Willisey, Greg Willisey, the McGarry medalist and all that.
He won the medal.
Oh, is Macca in that team?
No, Macca's not in there. Let's have a look. Michael Long, Clayton Lamb, the Jarman boys, Greg McAdam. Let's have a look. Johnny Klug.
Pete, who said I was a buckled wheel?
Yeah, who said that?
Hey, mate, you tell all them bloody mongrels anywhere that gives you a hard time, you say, hey, I had a crack. At least you had a crack and they didn't.
You can say, I made the West End All-Stars. Pete, is there any remnants of when I went up there and was a guest speaker up there at Crystal Brook?
There's a Cassie. There's a sign on the door that says Timmy G. Cassie.
He's in the running.
Well, it couldn't have been this year then, could it, Timmy?
Well, it could have been this year.
Right. The Cashies have dried up for Timmy.
They have. There's issues.
And you're starting to look a little bit down, and you're a bit surly.
We've lost your aura, Timmy.
Just a little bit surly. Because he walks on top of the ground when he's had a Cashy, doesn't he? I go, how'd your Cashy go, Timmy? Killed him.
Yeah. We've lost his glow.
Killed him.
That's a good point.
It's 13-6. We'll check your roads. We'll come back very shortly. Timmy and Terry's tips, maybe that'll get you back.
At Angle Farm, multi-car smash on Bridge Road near Montague Road. Chock-a-block delays there. Glen, road plates and news following a burst water main. Paynham Road near Edward Street, speeds at 40 affecting citybound. Got the smash at Gawler West to look out for. Ryde Street near Gosford Street. Few detours in place there. And just got notice from police of a smash that this just happened on Sturt Road in the Marion Shopping Centre. Camera, Osmond Terrace at Norwood too. The biggest errata sale is on now at Flight Centre. Save up to 60% on the second guest with Royal Caribbean. Hurry, ends May 31 to book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The Crows gave it their best shot, but once again fell short to the classy Collingwood.
Collingwood's way for 10th straight time.
All is not lost, though, as the Crows look to fine-tune their game.
Shot at goal! Is it in? It is! You're a star, Rakin!
Sunday arvo on 5AA. The Crows face the lowly West Coast Eagles at Adelaide Oval.
He's kicked it!
AFL Live on 5AA, always Adelaide.
If you appreciate sporty handling in a compact car that puts the fun back into driving, you'll love the game-changing Corolla at Jarvis Toyota. It features a 1.8-litre fuel-efficient hybrid electric system engine, plus cutting-edge safety advancements. And every new Corolla comes standard with capped price servicing. Exhilarating Corollas are in stock and ready to go. Take a test drive today at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
I reckon one of the worst things about autumn is daylight, or the lack thereof.
I lose my steam quicker, I know that. I think I'm solar powered.
Well, that's good news, mate. Now, I've worked out how to combat the energy slump. McCafe's barista-made coffee. It tastes good. It's affordable. Their drive-through is the pinnacle of convenience.
How good. Hey, what blends do they use?
Listen to it. They use 100% Arabica beans, sustainably sourced, smooth and rich in flavour.
God, I could go a coffee.
Yeah, couldn't we all, mate? McCafe via drive-through, McDelivery, in-store or order ahead with My Macca's app and skip the queue. McCafe, it's coffee fit for an Aussie. Now expertly crafted by baristas just the way you like it.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate. What it is, how it works, and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Big news! The 2024 plate clearance sale is on at Austrac Campers. Save up to $11,000 on hybrid campers, plus get a bonus 3.3 kVA generator and 200-watt solar panel with every purchase. Austrac Campers! Limited stock, don't miss out.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's been a fun show tonight. We'll award our Rusden Blackguts very shortly here live at the Port and Vine Hotel. It is 8 minutes to 6. You'll hear from Riley O'Brien very shortly as well. But right now, let's get to our tips of the week.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
Hey, Terry for Racing.com. Pretty successful week last week by Tim and Terry's tips, let me tell you.
Don't sound surprised, Tim.
Yeah, leave that to me.
No, I was actually pretty pleased. We made a fair profit, so it was good news, my friend. Thank you very much. Yeah. What do you got for us this week?
Look, I thought the best on the program tomorrow was a horse that hasn't won for a long time, Race 5, number 5, Sentimental Flame. So its last win was September 2023, so it's been a long time between drinks, but looks a very suitable race. Got the services of Lachlan Neindorf. No one in the state rides better, so I'm thinking it might be able to bounce back into the winner's stall finally tomorrow, Race 5, number 5, Sentimental Flame.
Kendall, nice also known as Adam Timmy, on the text line, says what?
Oh, big week. He said, Tim and Terry's tips, good results last week. He said, for me anyway, he said tomorrow, and he gave a heap of tips. Tarney Treasure, Sentimental Flame. He's on the same page as you, mate. So
Race 5, number 5.
There you go. So he's on the bandwagon for Terry as well. So good stuff, mate. Got anything else before I start to?
So that other one's Tarney Treasure. That's Race 4, number 6. So value-wise tomorrow, I reckon there's a couple there that sort of stand out that can improve at big odds tomorrow. But the one I'm hoping for is Race 9, number 8, Platinum Wolf. It's got a lot of ability. It's had a lot of injury problems, and I'm hoping that now with 2 runs back from a spell after an injury that it might be able to bounce back. Manuel Nunez back in the saddle tomorrow as well. So it's my value bet tomorrow, Race 9, number 8, Platinum Wolf.
Yeah, all at Murray Bridge, of course, tomorrow, which is awesome. We should have a reasonable day too, shouldn't we? Not much rain, I don't reckon.
No, we'll be okay. Sunday might be a bit of a problem. We're heading to Mount Gambier on Sunday for Millicent Cup Day. Might be a bit nasty down there on Sunday, but should be okay tomorrow at the bridge.
Well, I'm going for my best bet, Race 3, number 9, Great Maximus. It's been good to me before. I'm going for that one for the win. Do you have any confidence in that, Terry?
Yeah, another one for Manuel Nunez, riding for Richard and Chantel Jolly. So thought it looked hard to beat. That's actually the main race tomorrow. It's actually a cowboy Western themed day tomorrow at Murray Bridge, and that race, the Golden Buckle. So there's actually a trophy for the winning connections for race number 3 tomorrow, the big Golden Buckle. I've never been a buckle person, to be brutally honest, but that's the big trophy race tomorrow. So Great Maximus, looks hard to beat, Race 3, number 9.
Better than a Golden Buckle will, so that'll be good. Now I'm going for my each way bit of value. Race 7, number 4, Beauty Bound. That should give us a nice each way.
Yeah, it's been going really well for Phillip Stokes. It's only been with the Stokes stable for, I reckon it's only about 7 starts in for that stable, and it's won 3 of them. So its form for the new team's been great. Taylor Johnston riding. So I reckon you've landed on another one with a really good chance there tomorrow too, Timmy. Race 7, number 4, Beauty Bout.
You beauty. And Johnny Kelton give you anything?
Well, Johnny's actually very keen on Sentimental Flame as well, so he thinks it might score a long overdue win, race 5, number 5. And the other one he was keen on was in race 2, number 7, Tripod Terror, the one named after Rowey.
Oh, you know what? Funny, ha ha.
That's a compliment.
That's
so
brilliant.
Take that.
What's tripod mean?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, I know what it means.
Oh, now he's back.
Yeah, now he's back.
Oh, I love it.
You big lariat
all the
head.
best out at Murray Bridge there, Terry.
Thanks, boys.
Well done,
so,
mate.
Racing.com's Terry McAuliffe, I tell you what, in good form at the moment.
He is. Now let's give away that Ruston Blackgut Shiraz.
Yes.
Down at the Port and Vine.
A lot of good callers tonight.
Oh,
a lot of good callers, and it was tough. And you went early, and I said, no, hold, let's just hold. But you know what, in the end, I think it suited a lot of reasons. John at Osborne rang and said, the signing of Aaron Phillips out of WNBA into the Adelaide Crows to play AFLW and to win a flag, to win the medal, all the rest of it was an incredible moment for Aaron. But the fact that we're at the Port and Vine Sports Bar Cell.
As I said, you could pick this Port and Vine up and put it in any capital city and be proud of it. It's brilliant.
I've got some news. I'm staying. I don't know about you blokes, but I'm moving around. Yeah,
I'll do it.
I tend to do that. They sort of say, oh, come on down, and then, can he leave?
Well, at least you can just saunter on home, Timmy.
Yeah.
It has been a lot of fun. Riley O'Brien's going to join us after 6, and then it's Dreamtime at the G, 5AA football tonight on a Friday. Lots of big footy games, the Port Saturday night and the Crows on Sunday here live on AA as well. Enjoy your evening. 6 o'clock news next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.